an Arctic wolf. Coming towards us. We stay absolutely still. It's very wary. It is a kind of a miracle.
It is, isn't it?
It really is.
Yes, it is, yeah.
I mean, that is a wolf.
It certainly is.
A wild wolf.
Yes.
Actor Timothy Dalton has a real passion for wolves, and we'll join him on his quest to find one in the wild. The fact that wolves arouse such fear and hatred in us has always fascinated Dalton. On his journey, he discovers the true nature of an animal that's been so totally misunderstood. Who better to take us on an adventure than the man who plays James Bond? Dalton will lead us into some of the wildest country left in North America.
Nature is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by annual financial support from viewers like you. And by Canon, providing the power of imaging to express your visions at home and work. And by Ford, maker of the Ford Explorer. Because sometimes where the pavement ends is where the world begins. Ford Explorer, the world's too big to be left unexplored.
Wolves are amongst the most mysterious, elusive, and feared creatures on Earth. What really fascinates me is why an animal that so few people have ever seen or encountered should evoke such extreme reactions. The wolf has almost been exterminated in the USA. Here in California, you might just be lucky enough to find a few bleached bones. My aim is to discover what the wolf is really like. I want to try and meet one, face to face, in the wild. The extraordinary thing I find about wolves is how much hatred they evoke. They've been machine gunned, poisoned with strychnine, doused in gasoline and set on fire, quite literally torn apart. What was once the world's most widely distributed mammal is now one of its most rarely sighted. Many wolves have taken refuge in the icy wilderness of the north. This harsh climate has fashioned the wolf's spirit, independent, opportunist, and secretive. There are no guarantees of finding the animal. One American wolf expert has caught sight of wolves just twice in 5 years. This is the north slope of Alaska's Brooks Range, one of America's finest wildernesses and good country for wolves. It's here that we're to meet with the inland Eskimos, the Nunamut Inupiat. They're hunters and trappers. It's a desolate world. If you want water in this place, you cut it from the ice. Clothing's often made from the furs of animals that live in Nunamut country. Caribou mountain sheep, wolf and wolverine. We're traveling to meet a Nunnamuet elder with a special knowledge of wolves. It's so cold your breath freezes. Justice Mekiana has spent a lifetime watching and trapping wolves in the Brooks Range. The Nunnamuet hold a remarkable degree of respect for the prey they hunt. They believe that the animal's spirit must be set free after it's killed so that the spirit's reincarnated. This will bring further good fortune in hunting. The furs are important to them. That's big, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a big fella.
Yeah, real nice wolf.
Now, what do you use the skin for?
Well, we use it for a lot for the men rough right there, neck part.
Yeah.
Right there for the men.
Did you use the legs?
Legs for the, sometimes we use it for the pooch.
Oh-ho.
Yeah, makhluk.
Oh-ho, for the shoes.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
the shoes.
I've noticed when people have killed an animal here, they make a cut in the throat. Why?
Because the old-time people say, if you don't cut the neck off after you skin it,
Yeah.
the spirit never go. And you cut it, the spirit from the body and go away.
Aha.
Another wolf again.
Do you like the wolf?
The wolf is good animal, number one, I guess. Myself anyway.
Do you think the wolf is like a human being?
Yeah, almost human being, almost.
Yeah. With a family?
Yeah, almost a people. I think it's true. Somehow the wolf is smart.
The Nunnamuet are cautious near wolves, but they don't fear or hate them. They simply respect a good hunter and can live with it. We saw plenty of caribou and occasionally some wolf tracks amongst them, but in 3 days not a single glimpse of the wolf itself. We've traveled south to Alaska's spectacular Katmai Peninsula. Alaska has a healthy number of wolves, around 7,000 overall, hidden away in its rugged country. And on the first day, I find some fresh wolf tracks. They're massive, about as wide as the span of 4 fingers. So, the wolves must be around here somewhere. But these are false hopes. I find myself not in the company of wolves, but of bears. There are tens of thousands of rivers in Alaska, and each summer literally millions of salmon run these rivers to spawn. These sockeye salmon are what the bears have come for. It's mayhem. They're all spawning, spawned out, or dying. This is a sockeye salmon that a bear's eaten. One of the most incredible things is all these salmon die, and as they rot and decompose, the nutrients actually feed the young salmon that are born. There's nothing in these waters. They're absolutely clear and cold, and the young need the nutrients and the dead bodies of their parents to survive. The brown bears know exactly where the feast is. Wolves do sometimes come to the river to scavenge what the bears have left behind, but there's no sign of them today. The appearance of the bear cubs is some compensation. The bears glut themselves on salmon to fatten up for the winter. They're so numerous you have to be careful not to stumble into them as you're walking along the riverbank.
This is amazing. One of the Alaskan brown bears has just left the riverbank and has gone to sleep right ahead of us. It's only about 40 yards away. I can't tell how big it is, but I know they grow to well over 1,000 pounds and can stand over 8 or 9 feet high. The question is, what's it going to do when it wakes up? Or what are we going to do when it wakes up? I thought he was going to get up, but in fact he's just rolled over in bed.
It's advisable to stay clear of bears. They're powerful and unpredictable, and will attack if they feel threatened. So why is it that bears, which think nothing of occasionally killing a human, are seen as jovial, amicable creatures, teddy bears, whereas wolves, which go out of their way to avoid us, are vilified and feared? Why is that? Still no sign of any wolves. We know they're here in Alaska, but goodness knows where. The state of Minnesota is our next best chance. There are timber wolves here. We found some tracks. There's been a kill in the forest. Well, I found the kill. It's a deer and it's spread out in 1 or 2 pieces. It's pretty bloody. And I guess the wolves might be fairly close by, keeping an eye out. The wolves have eaten up a lot of its forearm. It looks like a white-tailed deer. I guess they go for the liver and stuff like that first. They've obviously been having quite a feast. Looks like a butcher's shop. In northern Minnesota, there's a special team of researchers who are studying wolves. We're going to join them. We're going to try and find the wolves that made the kill. What kind of deer are those, David? Just look at them go, just look at them go. Inside the plane beside us, biologist Mike Nelson is tracking the wolves by radio. The team have captured several wolves, fitted them with radio collars, and then returned them to the wild. They can now locate the wolves by the collar signals. Some of the collars have anesthetic darts in them. Nelson can fire the darts by remote control and immobilize a wolf on the ground. Look, look, down there. That's the kill. Look, do you see them? Wolves. There's a wolf by the kill.